Well, greetings once again from the spring meeting of the Episcopal House of Bishops, meeting here in the mountains of western North Carolina at the Kanuga Conference Center. I know Bishop Lee was able to share some of his reflections about this meeting, and he asked me to do the same, so I'll share a few thoughts. I can't do that without looking back on my first meeting of this House of Bishops, which would have been in 1989. Such a different environment. It was a very formal setting in those days. We wore full clericals all the time. We sat in ordination row order with the senior bishops being up front in the front row and the back benchers like me being in the back. Very formal speeches, very little conversation except in the hallways. Amazing formality in those days. We had a kind of very difficult General Convention in Phoenix in 1991. Some of you may remember, and the House of Bishops was really in some distress. At that point, the presiding bishop, Ed Browning, looked at us and said, "My friends, we're going to have to do better than this. We're going to have to get to know one another better. We're going to have to go deeper. We're going to have to pray together. And we're going to have to start meeting twice a year, not once. And one of those meetings will be in a retreat setting. The first one will be in Kanuga Conference Center in Lent. Be there." And we were. When we arrived, we found ourselves seated at small tables, small groups, made up of a variety of ages and genders to the extent that was possible in those days. Geography, theological positions. We really were a microcosm at each table of the House of Bishops and in many ways of the Episcopal Church. That style has remained until this very day. It has been shared now with the Executive Council and with other Anglican provinces who find themselves meeting in similar configurations. I think in many ways it has transformed this House, and it mirrors in some ways a transformation that I see in the Episcopal Church at large. We are in this House today, and I think in this church we are less formal, we are more collaborative, we're more willing to take risks than we have been, I think, in the past. That is all to the good. It does model what I see as I travel about the Diocese of Chicago. You too, in congregations large and small, I find perhaps less formal, more collaborative, more willing to take risks for the sake of mission than perhaps we have been in the past. Please know how pleased we are with that, how grateful Jeff and I are to serve alongside you as bishops. Please keep us in your prayers as we keep you in ours, and keep on with that great work of growing the church, informing the faithful, changing the world. Bye.